What's going on, Toronto? Been a long time, but we're back. Pick 6 ASAP. Zach,
Hola.
Graham, coming at you. So it's been a long time since we've talked to the people.
About 2 months there.
Mm-hmm.
We've been busy buggers,
Yeah.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But also the sports world has been super busy as well.
Just been exploding lately.
Yeah, those free agents. You want to start with those?
For hockey?
Oh my gosh.
I know it's not the Leafs, but that's one of the bigger signings in Toronto sports history. Never mind just the
Definitely.
Leafs. So Tavares agreeing to the 7 years, 77 million.
Yeah, 11 per year.
It's pretty good. He's going to get destroyed on taxes, but that doesn't matter because it's cup time in Toronto, bud.
Oh, for sure. So, do you think with that signing he'll be first line center and Matthews will be second line, or do you think one will play the wing?
No, they're definitely going to have three deep lines because Kadri's going to be the best third line center in the league.
Oh, for sure.
But I think Tavares has to be the number one line center. Not that Austin doesn't deserve it or anything. It's just Tavares is the guy. He's the stud, right? So it'll be interesting because Austin was a little upset at Babcock for the lack of ice time during the playoffs this year. So I don't know if playing time necessarily is going to drop being on the second line, but he's not going to be matched up against their number one line, which could open up all kinds of floodgates for our offense. Looks good for the Leafs. Everybody's worried about our defense still.
It's a
Who
little
cares?
suspect, but I think with the offensive threats that we've added to our team, we're going to be fine.
If you can score 5 goals a game in the NHL, you'll be
good.
all right.
Oh, for sure.
All right? Freddie Anderson can have goals against of over 4. It's fine because we're going to score 5 every game. So, welcome to the big city there, Tavares. Welcome home, number 91. I guess you're not a Islanders fan anymore.
I said to Graham that I'll become that'll be my favorite team wherever he goes.
There
And
you go.
he ended up in Toronto, so I guess I'm a Leafs fan now.
There you go. Yeah, it makes it easier for the rest of us to remain Leafs fans. So, what did you think about the World Cup this year?
Vive la France. That's all I have to say.
Oh,
Honestly, they were my pick against Germany final. Germany decided to not even make it through the group stage, so kind of lost on that. But France is a team.
yeah.
When I see team, I mean they play all together. They don't just play as like a messy Argentina team, and they rely on one player. That's why they were scoring as many goals as they scored a game.
Yeah, and that's the downfall of the Argentinas and the Portugals. You have one star stud guy who's clearly head and shoulders above everyone, but it's a little predictable to defend against, right?
Oh, yeah,
I found
for sure.
even watching Brazil, it just looked like a highlight reel on loop. It was just Neymar down the left side. He'd try to center it for a header or take it in for himself, which is never going to work. They're keying in on you. I just felt Brazil's whole attack was pretty predictable, so
Yeah,
wasn't too shocked to see them get eliminated.
no, and well against Belgium as well. Belgium is like a France team.
Yeah.
They played amazing as well. They got third place against England. So
Why is there a third place game?
I honestly have no clue. They have to play it, obviously, but at the
But
same
do they?
time,
They don't have
they're
to.
both
There's no
eliminated.
medals.
Yeah,
There's no medals or anything. There's no bronze medals.
I guess it's just for placing.
It is, but once you're not first, you're last.
Exactly.
So let's get rid of that.
But
I guess kudos to Croatia.
honestly,
That was a hell of a run.
well, I didn't want Croatia to win, obviously, because they knocked out Greece and they didn't allow them to be in the World Cup. But
Mhm.
from going to a elimination game against Greece to runner-up, that's pretty good, to be honest.
I'd say
And
so.
I'm proud of Croatia. Their midfield is amazing. Modric held them, and that's why he won Player of the Tournament.
Yeah. Russia held its own,
Russia
being
did
the host
amazing.
country. You
I-
gotta wonder if there was some backdoor politics getting them that far, but no, Russia, they earned their wins.
For sure, even
Um,
against Spain, because Spain, I'm sorry, they do not perform in high games like that, in knockout games,
It's so disappointing.
honestly, because
All of
they
the
are
big nations who went out early, it's pretty disappointing because
sure.
everyone roots for an underdog, but realistically, when it gets down to the final four, you kind of want the best 4 teams there, right?
Exactly. Well, you don't want a Croatia in the final, but at the same time, everyone thought, it would be easy for France to win, which they did win 4-2.
It was 4-2, but it wasn't a
But did
blowout.
you see the possession? Croatia had 61% possession, so they were
weren't
holding
getting
their own.
creamed.
No.
So
It was just unlucky goals because the first goal was Mandzukic. He headed it back and it ended up in the net, right? The second goal, it's a penalty.
yeah,
So you can't really
questionable penalty.
Questionable penalty, but at the same time, you can't really help it. It was a handball. It was clearly intentional because he had his hand up here and then he went down. So Perisic kind of gave them a free goal. But what if that didn't happen? Croatia, do you think they would have scored
Anything
2
could
goals?
have happened.
Exactly.
When it's a 1-goal game,
Exactly.
it's too close for comfort. So I wanted to get your take on the VAR, the video assistant referee. How do you feel about that?
Honestly, I feel like some teams are pretty pissed off about that, where they can kind of cheat their way through. But I actually like it. It's a little questionable, but at the same time, it catches everything.
Yeah.
So referees, you get mad at them, but at the same time, they can't see everything.
Yeah.
So I think this helps, but maybe see if it's an actual foul instead of just it saying, it is a foul, the VAR system.
Yeah.
So maybe just further develop it and then see how it goes from there. So maybe in Qatar we will see better development in that VAR referee.
I mean, all the sports across the world are moving towards that technology, and
exactly,
you got to keep up with the times. So,
well, the referees in the NHL have GoPros on their helmets now, so I think that's awesome as well because it captures every action shot,
Yeah.
So I think it's good.
I think it was a good World Cup this year. It was pretty competitive and pretty balanced. There weren't juggernaut teams running all over everyone.
No.
And it was good.
Some upsets as well.
There were lots of upsets, and there was a lot of concern about the host nation, Russia, with a history of racism and hooliganism, and
no, they were pretty good fans.
It was very good. I think better than expected. From all the talk you heard before the tournament, you kind of were bracing for the worst, and it didn't happen. I thought the fans were good, and they sold out every single game.
Oh yeah.
Which will happen with World Cup football.
Of course,
so.
It's the biggest in the world.
Yeah, so I guess we just got to wait 2 years for the Euros, and
hopefully Greece makes it.
I'm sure Scotland won't. So stay tuned for that.
Definitely.
So yeah, World Cup. It was a good job this year.
Very good.
So to jump back to the NHL, I know we haven't given the props that are due to Mr. Ovechkin.
Yes.
Capitals taking home that cup. The dream season for the Golden Knights came to an end, but good Lord, could you have had a better season than they did?
Oh, they did.
An expansion team to the Cup final? But Ovechkin, that's been my dude for a long time. And
have you seen his Instagram?
Yo, this guy's
nuts. He brought the cup to the World Cup.
Yeah, he brought it. This
awesome.
guy was swimming in the fountains in the streets of Russia. He was just hammered at all times, and
good for him.
He's untouchable. He's a man of the people, and he's not going to get jumped for that cup.
No.
First of all, he'll beat you.
Yeah,
he's a hockey-playing, rugged guy.
He's a big dude.
Better have a mob to take that cup, but no. Congratulations to the Capitals. If it's not a Canadian team winning, you always got to go for the story like Ovechkin. I'm not a Capitals fan, but I'm an Ovechkin fan, and he deserves that legacy in stone now.
For sure.
Top 10 all time, I think.
For sure.
So, way to go, Grade 8. You did it.
You did it.
So, what I wanted to talk about quickly was the Blue Jays' first half of the season. So, obviously, it has not gone according to plan. Going into the season, everybody thought the starting pitching would be the strong point.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been. There's been injuries. There's been lackluster performances. And then basically the entire team's been injured. So, yeah, we're 9 games under 500 here at the All-Star break. But the grade that I would give the Blue Jays right now is still a B.
Not bad.
Why? When they're still terrible? Look at the lineup we're running out there every day. You got no Donaldson for how long? Tulowitzki, where is he? Does he still exist?
I haven't heard his name at all.
Russell Martin looks like he's 106. So that contract looks terrible. So we've had no Donaldson, no Tulo, doesn't matter, didn't expect him. Osuna has been suspended for 75 games. We've been without him. Sanchez and Stroman have both been injured and underperforming. So you look at the pitching rotation that we're sending out there and the lineup, the guys that are playing every day, they were brought in here not to play every day. Those were going to be utility guys, and they're playing every day. Solarte, he's not supposed to play every day, but he is, and he's like our leading offensive guy. Smoke, even though he's been on fire lately, he's having a down year compared to last year. Devin Travis is batting like 220. Kevin Pillar has turned back into Kevin Pillar, the 240 hitter who strikes out at everything. So you look at our team and you're like, well, we should definitely be where the Baltimore Orioles are, going for the all-time loss record. But we're not. We're only 9 games under 500. And I did some reading today. If we were in the Central Division, which the Jays are 12-7 against this season, we'd be a game behind Minnesota for second.
Oh, that's not too bad.
And that's just taking our records right now. That's not taking into account that we've played the Yankees and the Red Sox a dozen times this year. If we were in the Central, we wouldn't have. So we would have been playing against all these weak teams. Our record would have been better. But we're not in the Central. We're in the East. We're not looking too good. We're behind the Rays. The Rays are visibly tanking, and we're behind the Rays. Mm-hmm. But with the team that we're putting out there, we should be near Baltimore, and we're not. So you guys get a B from me. Hopefully we can turn it around and somebody can locate Troy Tulowitzki. But where are you, bud?
He needs to come back.
Get on the bench. Be part of the team. Where are you? Don't get me started on Stroman blowing up at the media. Dude, just get wins. Strike some dudes out. Let's turn it around in the second half, and more on the Jays, I think. Sorry if you wanted to chime in or anything.
Nope, it's you.
No? So the trade deadline is approaching, and of course the hot name is J Happ. He's going to the Yankees. He's going to the Red Sox.
He's an all-star this year, I heard, too.
Okay, but that's the way baseball's set up. Every team needs to have one player.
Oh, okay.
Sal Perez is the guy from the Royals. He's batting 203 with 11 homers. Uh-huh. He's not an all-star, but every team needs a representative.
Oh, okay, I didn't know
So Happ is there. A couple weeks ago, he was labeled as the best commodity come trade deadline for starting pitchers. He's had a few rough starts since then, and all of a sudden he's out of the top 5 of available guys. So here's my thing. If we're not going to get a great return for him, and for Donaldson, and for Osuna, these are the guys who are on the block. You hear teams talking about Donaldson, Happ, Osuna. Not so much Donaldson because of the year he's had. So my thing is, if you're not going to get what you want back for these guys, then don't trade them.
Don't trade them, yeah.
Because we keep talking about the youth movement and AAA and AA. They're going to be great in 2 years. Well, that's great. But if they don't have any major league players on the roster when they come up, they're just going to come into a losing environment. So if we're not going to get anything for Donaldson, keep him. He's had a crap year. Nobody's going to sign him to a mega deal. We can offer him more than he's worth, more than anyone else is offering him, just because we've seen what he offers. We know who he is. This has been a bad year. Injuries.
Yeah,
so
you can't help being injured.
No. I say we keep Donaldson, we keep Happ, and we keep Osuna. Why are we trading those guys? Why are we going to help other teams get better? And we keep hearing talks about the Yankees being in on all 3 of those guys, Yankees and Red Sox. Why would you do that? Why would you give the Red Sox Osuna when they already have Kimbrel? We're going to give them Osuna for the 8th inning? Yankees already have the bullpen locked from the 6th inning. We're going to give them Donaldson or Happ? Why?
And they're in our division, so it's not going to help.
Right.
Either.
So, to me, we don't have a chance at playoffs this year, but that doesn't mean you have to do a fire sale. Keep them. If these guys are valuable contributors to a major league team next year, why not us? If they can help another team, then they can help us. So let's just relax on that truck of sending everybody out of town. let's just keep our guys, retool next year. Maybe Tulowitzki will play a game. Probably not. We'll see. Jays, hang in there, bud. We're still here for you. Jays all day. And then, the NBA. So the biggest move of the offseason, obviously, was DeAndre Jordan going to the Mavericks. He did do that. Honestly, the Mavericks look exciting to me. It's a sleeper team for me. But LeBron, LA Bron. What was your first take when you heard that news?
Honestly, I didn't believe it at first.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it was just like speculations on, he's going to the West, but I thought he was going to the East, to be honest, or stay in Cleveland.
Yeah.
But, wow, is what I have to say.
When I first heard the news, because the news broke on like July 1st or whatever it is, but there can be no announcements of contracts or anything like that until July 10th.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, you're seeing all the online, the memes and all the stuff on Instagram about LeBron in LA. I was like,
no, it's fake.
This guy's going to change his mind like DeAndre did.
Yeah.
And that would have been the funniest thing to me. But at the same time, not that funny because honestly, to me, the Lakers didn't need LeBron.
But I like it. I actually like it.
My only thing with that is Kuzma and Brandon Ingram, those are small forwards. Those are young, stellar guys. This can only stunt their development, can't it?
Yeah.
And I know LA brought in Rondo, so now they have Lonzo Ball and Rondo, two facilitators who aren't shooters. They're not looking for their shot. So apparently LeBron's going to try to play off the ball more this year. Okay. But I've heard that one before. I've heard it a couple times before, and guess what? He will definitely start the game doing that, but once they're down 10, 15, it's LeBron time. Yeah. Give me the damn ball. And then, how useful is Lonzo or Rondo? What good is a point guard who can't shoot playing with LeBron?
Yeah, he needs the shooters, because if he drives, 5 people are defending him, he needs to kick it out.
Every time. So I look at the whole Lakers roster and I'm like, where's the shooters? They have Caldwell Pope. He's like the one guy shooting over 38%. That ain't good enough. The way LeBron plays and historically how his teams have looked, the Lakers can't be finished making moves because there's a surplus of small forwards. Their only big man is a dude who played like 8 minutes a game last year. So it's either LeBron is going to play center with Kuzma and Ingram starting, and then I guess Caldwell Pope will be the 2 guard, and either Rondo or Lonzo will be the point guard. Then you got Lance Stevenson off the bench, which I like that move. I would have took Lance on Toronto, matter of fact. I like the way he plays. He's a little bit of an idiot sometimes, but the talent can't be questioned. JaVale McGee, whatever. My point is, the Lakers need to make a couple more moves because A, they have no shooters, and B, they got no big men. Like, where's LeBron playing? He's going to have to play center. The way it is right now, he's their center. Oh, God. They got rid of Julius Randle, so he's gone.
He went to the Pelicans.
He's on the Pelicans, which...
That's not too bad,
watch
honestly.
out, because he essentially is replacing DeMarcus Cousins,
yeah.
And he is a guy who's like DeMarcus Cousins but doesn't need the ball as much as Cousins. And he's probably going to put up 19 and 11 this year. That would be my guess. So I think the Lakers lost out on that one, but they had to free up roster spots and cap space. They couldn't afford to pay all these guys. But it's going to be interesting. Melo's still out there. There's still a lot of free agents out there. Like Michael Beasley's still out there. Jamal Crawford's still out there. Like Jahlil Okafor is out there. So there's guys who can make an impact if they're put on the right team. Greg Monroe is still out there, which...
It wouldn't be bad, actually.
So stay with me here for a second. If we can believe at all the rumors about Kawhi coming to Toronto. The package I recently heard was DeLon Wright, Pascal Siakam, Jonas, and Powell for Leonard, who might not re-sign. So I'm like, all right, let's everyone take a breath. Don't get me wrong, I'd probably make that trade. Gun to my head, I make that trade. Just because, why not? LeBron's not in the East. We have a shot top 5 guy on our team with 2 other top 20 guys, arguably. You take your shot. So, if you move out Jonas and you free up all those roster spots, like if we're trading 4 spots for 1 guy, well, now we need some guys. And guess what? I'll take a flyer on Greg Monroe because he's basically just
grabbing boards.
Jonas.
Yeah.
He's basically just an older Jonas. And guess who else I'm going after? Michael Beasley, because we don't have that killer scorer guy. And I know Beasley kind of sleeps on defense, but he has the capabilities to play defense. He has all the physical skills. Plus the guy is buckets. He's Kevin Durant. If he could stop smoking weed, he could be Kevin Durant. But he won't stop smoking weed. And now that it's legal in a lot of places, Toronto, he'll probably keep smoking weed. So he'll never be Kevin Durant. But we don't have that guy who can just attack. And, man, I would love to have Beasley here. I would. You bring in Beasley and Monroe after we lose all those guys and get Kawhi, Raptors are going to the finals, bud. That's a guarantee.
Against Lakers or Golden State?
Oh, Lakers aren't going to the finals. Lakers are not going to the finals.
Yeah.
They're going to have to fight. Like LeBron, if he cares about any of that this year, he's going to have to play harder than he has in the last 6 years. It's going to be tougher to take this team to the finals
than to the Cavaliers.
Of course, because the Cavs, it's not a cakewalk. Everyone says it's a cakewalk, the East. You still got to play the teams. Even when they sweep Toronto, it's not like they beat us by 20 every game. There were buzzer beaters in every game.
Yeah.
So I like to say, too, LeBron gets to kind of walk his way to the finals when he's in the East. But it's not true. But in the West, just to get to the finals, look at who you're going to have to go through.
Yeah.
OKC, Paul George is back, which can only be good for him and Westbrook. Now they don't have to share the ball with a guy who didn't want to share anyway. So Carmelo's out of town.
I heard he's linked to Houston.
If Houston wants to lose, then go ahead.
Where do you think he would fit in best, though?
I think he would fit into a non-contender so that he could put up all the shots that he wants. His ego's still too big. Unless he comes back this year and signs with the Lakers and only LeBron can keep him in check, then that's just another small forward. I don't know. Carmelo to me doesn't fit anywhere. But again, I would take Carmelo on the Raptors because we still need that killer kind of guy. Yeah. Those numbers, though, like the efficiency last year and the field goal percentage, I don't want that Melo.
He had a bad year, yeah.
And all you had to do was catch and shoot. You didn't have to create your own shot.
No, Russell was doing that for you.
Just, so I don't know. I don't know where Melo goes. But, you got Houston to go through. Obviously the Warriors. San Antonio, even if they trade Kawhi, I bet you they're in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So the West is just a little more loaded. And then, so just to get there, LeBron's going to have to knock off 2 or 3 of those teams just to get to the finals. And then can you imagine that? The 1 year that the Raptors go to the finals, LeBron makes it in the West, sweeps us in the finals.
That'd be hilarious.
I hate that guy.
God.
Leave us alone, LeBron. Just stop bullying us. But I want to go back to the Dallas Mavericks because to me, they're an exciting team. So I don't know if you knew this. They signed Giannis's little brother.
I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, so Kostas Antetokounmpo. He's on the Mavericks. Dirk is coming back.
Oh, okay.
And, of course, they signed Luka, what's his name? Luka Doncic.
Oh, they signed him.
Yeah, well, that's who they drafted.
Okay.
So they traded up in the draft to get to him. He's the MVP of the EuroLeague. The guy's 19 or 20 or something like that.
Might so sign him.
If anyone's going to tutor you in the NBA, why not the other guy that everyone doubted? The other 7-foot sharpshooting German European guy.
Yeah.
I know Doncic is not 7 feet tall, but seen the man play? He's ready. He's ready to play with men. plays with men. Like in those Euro leagues, there's some hard fouls, not like the NBA. So they got those guys. Yogi Ferrell is an exciting guard. I like him. Harrison Barnes, he's so sneakily great. The guy averaged 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists last year. He's a threat from 3. He can guard the perimeter. Harrison Barnes is a dope player. Mm-hmm. So you got DeAndre, you got Dirk, you got Doncic, Wesley Matthews, Harrison Barnes, Atanda Dennis Smith Jr.
He's good.
So I don't know if Dallas isn't even making noise in like the 10th or 9th or 8th spot. I'm shocked, because I don't see Portland finishing 3rd again. I don't know. Dallas.
It's gonna be a tough year.
I'm gonna be watching you, Dallas. I want you guys to eat up the Lakers a couple times there.
Yeah.
So I guess good luck to LeBron, but at the same time, no man, you made your bed. Go sleep in it. So that's Kobe country, bud. You're not going to go over there and take over Kobe country. Unless he wins 3 rings. Then,
that's different.
then we got to talk about that again. So I guess the only other big move, there's been moves, but Boogie to Golden State.
Yeah.
On the 1 year, $5 million.
I do not like that.
For Golden State or for the NBA?
For the NBA.
Why?
Honestly, like he could have got a max deal somewhere, and 1 year, $5 million. Okay, good signing for Golden State, amazing signing, but like, are you going to take a pay cut just to win a championship?
Okay, so 2 things to that. One, I heard, and who knows because we're not on the beat, we're not on that level yet. We're getting there. But I heard that only the Pelicans offered him a contract, and it was a 2-year, $40 million. So it's not like it was chump change.
He's making $20 million.
So he turned that down. I guess he didn't like the culture there. I don't know how some cancer like that can talk about another team's culture, but I guess he didn't want to be in Nolens. So he didn't take that one. And then the only other deal was the Warriors. And I think that the Warriors put it out there as a joke. They're like, let's just, man.
Here you go.
And then he accepted. So they're like,
what the heck? Yeah.
Like, that's not Golden State's fault.
No,
you can't be mad at Golden State for that.
I'm not mad at Golden State. I'm mad at him for signing that.
So here's the other point to that. So he's not even going to be playing until February probably.
Okay.
He's a 7-footer coming off Achilles surgery.
Yeah,
which
not great.
I haven't seen that work ever in life, but we'll see. Medicine's come a long way. So I think that all he's trying to prove this year is that I can fit into a system with a winning culture and contribute. So he was on a radio station. I heard him say, I'm cool if I only get 5 shots one night, but then they look to me to be the leading scorer the next night. Cool. That's exactly the attitude they need. They need you to run back on defense, guard the paint, and do what you're good at doing, but in small bunches because there's not enough ball to share. Like, Durant's the only guy getting 25 shots, let's be real. Mm-hmm. So, but the thing about Cousins being there, so you got Cousins in the paint, posting up. And then you got Curry, Clay, Durant, and Draymond camped out on 3. So really, the only person who can double is Draymond's guy. And even Draymond shoots 3s at 32% or something.
But it's not bad.
It's not bad. So DeMarcus Cousins, he's not going to get doubled. And look what the man does on triple teams and double teams. The guy is a beast. To not get double teamed, even if he's only at 70%, his skill set is so high that he's just going to mash guys if there's no double team. So while I don't think this solidifies Golden State as the favorite, I think they were already the favorite, and this can only help. So unless he is as cancerous as we've seen in his whole life, Golden State's winning that title again.
For sure.
So good move, LeBron, but maybe in 4 years, if you're still kicking, you got a chance. So we'll see. It's going to be a pretty interesting winter. It's too hot right now to be thinking about winter. We don't want snow. We love this brain-melting heat.
I don't know about that.
It's a bit much sometimes.
It's a little too much.
Yeah.
But then when winter comes along, we want this heat.
Yeah. Canada, we're never happy. We're very apologetic, but we're never happy. Not with the weather.
No.
So, I don't know. It felt good to jump back into the show after so long off.
Honestly, it did.
Yeah. So, hopefully we can get that traffic moving on our page again, and we're going to be way more consistent going forward. Cause
definitely. We missed out on the World Cup, and I feel bad about that.
maybe Zach will just do a World Cup recap for you guys.
There you go.
So we'll see. But thanks for tuning in. We're happy to have you join us again, as always, and we will see you next week.
Definitely.
We'll be here.
Toodles.
Peace.